Right as the Omori starts. Perfect timing. I guess. Hometown, 6 p.m. Asriel Dreamer and his dear friend, only known by his distinguished nickname, Pizzapants, were in Asriel's bedroom conversing. It had been a day prior to Asriel's leave for college. Hang on, I got some cake stuff still stuck in my mouth. Pizzapants was left perturbed, sitting on the bed of Asriel's adopted sibling as he thought to himself about the coming months, where the two would be separated. He had been working at the local Icy's pizza establishment for several years, spending inordinate hours in a crusty mascot suit, expelling various corporate slogans to seemingly nobody, all for minimum wage. He looked outside the window, to the right of Asriel's various accolades and trophies, staring at the leaves which would soon perish, past the threshold of the coming autumn. Pros, man. Asriel, sitting at his computer, was worried as well about the distance between them and began a passive conversation. So, how's the job been treating you? He asked Pizzapants. Oh, it's been He was at a loss for a moment, wondering whether or not to be honest or to tell Asriel that his soul-crushing part-time job was a fulfilling experience to pacify his worries. It's been good, Azzy, he said, and as he struggled to let the lie crawl out of his mouth. Pizzapants was afraid of spending what could possibly be one of his last few days with his best friend by complaining about his job. He couldn't let this remain as Asriel's memory of how he acted prior to separating. So I guess they're just like dating already. It's just sort of that they're implicitly dating. That's a refreshing change of pace. This was the first fanfic that Doc has ever written. I feel like that's probably the case for a lot of these. I'm glad to be doing my part for the company and all that. He was lying through his teeth to him and let out a nervous chuckle. Really? Well, I remember you saying the job was always grating on you, and always mentioning how you hated spending your hours there after school, Asriel remarked skeptically. You've always talked about how you felt when you were losing your free time by working there. And have you felt like it was taking away from our friendship? Did something change? Oh, they're just friends. They're just friends, Chad. It's okay. They're just friends. The two stared at each other for what felt like minutes. Pizzapants couldn't bear to continue. Asriel meant a lot to him, and this would betray the years of honesty between the two, even if it was just what seemed like a little white lie. Okay, let me be frank with you, buddy, Pizzapants said before taking a long, deep breath. It sucks, he exclaimed. The tacky mascot, the low pay, the soft-serve guy who keeps spilling slushies on me and laughing. No eye in pizza nonsense, the low pay, the god-awful guy who calls himself the warrior, the low pay. Pizzapants trailed off for it before realizing he had just spent the last 20 or so minutes complaining about his job, something he didn't want to do. Oh, I'm sorry, Azzy, I got a little carried away there, he said to him. Historians will say they were best friends, right? They lived in a big house together in the Alps with all their other friends and wrote poetry about how hot each other were. Don't worry, most jobs suck, and I get that. You can feel free to talk with me about it whenever you feel. Asriel smiled lightly before briefly looking to the floor of his bedroom. Oh, hang on. I have to rescue my dog. One sec. And we're back. The dog check, yeah. Asriel smiled lightly and briefly looked at the bedroom floor. Might I ask, though, if you aren't content with your job, why do you still work there? He asked. Pizzapants wasn't sure if Asriel would be ready for what he was about to say. I've been saving up all this money, and I'm making and putting it into a fund so I can eventually be able to go to college with you in a year or so. With my grades, they wouldn't accept me otherwise. I'm worried about us being away from each other, you know, buddy. Will we still be bros in a few years? He solemnly confessed his thoughts and feelings. Well, it's not like we'll be completely separate. We could always talk online every now and again. And our friendship is strong enough to survive the distance, I hope, Asriel responded. They met up on a ranch in Wyoming and grew closer to each other while straining their relationship with their wives, because they were just such good bros. Yes. That's the thing, buddy. Well, we don't know if it'll survive. I'm afraid we won't have anything to talk about. We won't have anything to talk to each other about, and we'll grow bored of each other. We need something to bring us together when we're apart, I think. He felt like de-escalating the situation, so he made a quick remark. Besides, chicks, that is. Pants emoji. He used the pants emoji in real life, which he can do, because that's his face. Yes, it's... Okay, good for you, Pizzapants. Asriel laughed briefly at Pizzapants' joke before forging an idea. Well, if you're worried about us not having things to talk about while I'm away, I do have something in mind. See, there was this webcomic I'm rather interested in. It started around 2009 and ended in 2016. Asriel stammered a bit. It's weird that it happened twice. And, well, it's a bit boring until you get to the trolls, and it's quite long. Something like 8,000 pages. Not counting the epilogues, that is. Pizzapants looked baffled by the absurd number Asriel had just relayed to him. It sounded like quite an undertaking. He wasn't an often reader. Usually he just finished the reading assignments teachers gave him in English class, and usually he had to get Asriel to help him with his reports, which were far beyond his vocabulary. This would almost certainly be difficult for him to get through. Oh, buddy, you don't even know. But something outside of him felt compelled to read it regardless. In the previous fic, Pizzapants was into Homestuck during high school, and Asriel wasn't, and it was embarrassing. But now, like, the tables have turned. Fascinating. Asriel then proceeded to show him a website with an unofficial archive of the comic, which he could download later. Are you going to include a link at this point? I'll read this and talk to you about it later, I guess, Pizzapants said to the friendly boss monster sitting in front of him. Boss monster confirmed. This could be it, the thing that would keep their friendship going even while Asriel was away from college. A piece of media that could connect the two in a way they hadn't connected before. And also happens to be extremely gay. Unrelated. Shortly thereafter, Pizzapants left the Dreamer household and made his way home to a small apartment in East Hometown, where he and his parents lived. Once he had made it to his bedroom, he instantly crashed onto the bed. He'd be sleep deprived and was pushing his way through the day just to spend time with Asriel after work. Tomorrow would be the day he'd have to leave for his dormitory, and Pizzapants knew he had to be there for it. Resting his head on the pillow, he slowly drifted his way into unconsciousness. What are Asriel's views on Vriska Circuit? I wonder. Asriel dies after bathing in Sharpie. I don't think Asriel would need to bathe in Sharpie water to turn his... Well, he doesn't have any visible skin. He could just use hair dye. It would be really easy, actually. He could just get slightly dirty. Oh, he'd cosplay as the Lucis. You're right, you're right. You'd have to follow some troll cosplayer around the whole time. Fuck, this Homestuck is everywhere. It's coming out of the goddamn walls! It do be. The fast food employee awoke to his blaring alarm clock, which he checked to find, yeah, shit. Pizzapants was supposed to wake up hours ago, yet his slacking had caused him to oversleep. He was going to be late for Asriel's departure, so he rushed out of bed and quickly began bolting toward the hometown bus station. Footnote 2. Which is to the left of the police tape and hometown FYI. Okay, good. Passing the newly opened convenience store where a lackadaisical cartoon skeleton worked as a janitor, the old biblioteca with a misspelled name. Biblioteca? You're going to hit me with the biblioteca. All right. I want child.mp3 plays. Along with the town hospital and police station, he got a cramp in his side and had to stop for a moment. Up ahead, he saw Asriel waiting for his bus to arrive, along with family members and several friends. Brady and Caddy were both dressed in the same outfit and gave each other scornful glances. Oh, I see. That's right. It took a moment to parse that's the new gimmick with Brady and Caddy, that they copy each other a bit and then don't realize it. While Asriel's mother was lightly distressed about the immodest nature of said garments. His father was timidly standing, slightly distant from his newly ex-wife. Asriel's sibling, Chris, stood near their brother, clearly in distress about his leave while twiddling with their thumbs. Footnote 3. Chris stimming real. Chris has gone autism mode. Cool. Noelle, who had hoped to be there with her entire family, was unfortunately the only member of the holiday family to be able to attend. Pizzapants, in a state of panic, yelled over to the young goat-like creature. What a description. Scorn. Was that how you say it? I don't know. I didn't watch that stream. And then an eagle flies by, and everyone simultaneously turns to look at the eagle. And in that 3-second window, Chris stabs Asriel to death, and the bus leaves. And when they all turn back, Chris just shrugs and says, "Oh, he got on the bus. He went to college." And the dust is blown away by the wind before they turn back. He yelled to the goat-like creature. "Yo, Azzy!" he said before inhaling an aggressively deep breath. "Golly, you made it!" "Golly," Asriel stated, somewhat surprised. "Yeah, bro, I wouldn't miss it for the world," Pizzapants said prior to hacking up a painfully long cough. Now stationary, he was able to catch his breath before continuing. "You know, I never miss my best buddy going off to whatever college you're going off to," he uttered while wearing a somewhat self-deprecating grin. "I brought a gift for you." No, Asriel said. I brought a gift for you," Asriel said with a peppy attitude. A confused expression covered Pizzapants' face for a quick moment. This day was for Asriel, wasn't it? Was this some sort of practical joke? What if it's just like a bound copy of the Homestuck epilogues? What would compel him to give Pizzapants a gift that the others wouldn't receive? He thought this to himself while staring at the jewel-cased CD Asriel had given him. It was a mixtape Asriel had made personally for Pizzapants, along with a track list. Most of the songs were by 90s religious ska band called 4 Iridium Free for All. Fucking hell. Footnote 4. All bands appearing in this work are fictitious. Any resemblance to real persons living or dead is purely coincidental. I mean, you didn't have to specify. I've never heard of this band before. And I'm pretty into religious ska. Pizzapants and Asriel had never bothered to exchange music together. This was clearly another attempt to remain connected with him over the distance they'd be apart. All Pizzapants could do was feel indebted to reciprocate the gift. "I got you a gift too," he stammered out. "Really?" Yeah." Pizzapants reached into his back pocket and retrieved the first thing he could think of, a work-mandated body spray courtesy of his employers. On the can read descriptively, "Like these cool boys body spray, safe with the boys flaming hot pizza flavored boy body spray." Oh, Asriel responded, utterly confused. Fuck, my monitor is covered in spit now. That was a really bad idea. It's disgusting. God, I hope none of it hit my keyboard. I spent like an hour cleaning my whole keyboard, like detailing it, because I needed to do another like 5-second film segment for my next video where I have the keyboard on screen. But I realized that I can't record that until I've edited another part, because I want my screen to display another part of the video. and so I just have to not get my keyboard dirty until I've edited that part, otherwise I'm back to square one. It's a really inconvenient situation. I already have my own hygiene projects, don't worry, he said while handing the can back to Pizzapants. Oh, that was Asriel. Oh, I already have my own hygiene products, don't worry. Alright then, he mumbled after having egregiously failed to return the favor. Now with the can back in his hand, he couldn't feel obligated to hold on to it any longer, so he decided to give it to Asriel's sibling instead. Hey, little buddy, I know you're not but Inside he was panicking immensely. If you have a lighter, you can make a makeshift flamethrower out of this, I think, he whispered while handing it to Chris. Cool, they responded. Toriel abruptly looked at Pizzapants with a stern look, strong enough to kill a yak from 200 yards. With mind bullets, yes. That is good, that's good. That's like clown-to-clown communication taking place here. Pants to Chris communication. Suddenly, Asriel's bus pulled up to the station. For a moment, everyone present could hardly do more than freeze in place. Pizzapants' heart dropped as a chill rode up his spine. The interior of the vehicle was mostly barren. On the dashboard, 4 hash marks were scribbled near the odometer for no apparent reason. 4 hash... Oh, it's the desert bus. Yeah. The author of this fic has a standing high score of 4 points in desert bus. With an associated role in ACDS, and anyone who can beat the high score gets the role. The bus driver was a humanoid figure clad in vibrant red hoodie with an eye patch. Dude, the same dude keeps getting described in all the fics. Who the fuck is he? Who are they talking about? Everyone seems to know this one dude with the eye patch and hoodie. Which made Pizzapants wonder about how the driver was qualified for the job while still lacking depth perception. Do you need depth perception to drive? I didn't think that was a thing, but maybe. Voice.
All aboard.
The bus driver yelped as they opened the door for Asriel to enter. I guess this is good. I guess this is goodbye for now, he said to Pizzapants as he patted him and rustled the fur on his head. Aw. Goodbye, Azzy. Remember to read the thing I told you to, he uttered while handing the driver his ticket before the doors promptly closed and the bus departed from the station. Just like that, a barrier had formed between them, dividing the two indefinitely. Pizzapants would not see his friend for several months. They have to ensure that they would rekindle their friendship. What a task. Asriel drives away in the bus. The last thing he says is, "Read Homestuck or we won't be friends anymore." And he just leaves you with that? Like, what the fuck, Asriel? That's fucked up. Make sure to read the whole thing and the epilogues. They didn't kiss, no. They're just bros. They don't kiss, they're just bros. Pizzapants' apartment, 2 months later. Pizzapants had spent the time working, and able to begin reading the comic his best friend had wanted him to. He did listen to the mixtape Asriel gave him, though. However, he didn't really enjoy it. The monolith of a web adventure was finally able to be consumed by the young monster. He cracked his knuckles and clicked it open. Let's do this, he said to absolutely nobody whatsoever. Gray tables made up the composition of the webpage. Sorry, what? Gray tables made up the composition of the webpage the comic dwelled in. The header stated simply in bold letters, Homestuck. I'm surprised it wasn't shop stuck. He cracked open a name-brand energy drink and downed it in one large frothy gulp. Snacks littered the desk which the fluorescent monitor stood firmly on. Pizzapants had vacation days saved up for this occasion. God, fuck, that's depressing. Saving vacation days to read Homestuck. That's so fucked. He was ready to finish the sucker in one fat, sloppy sitting. Oh God help you, Pizzapants. He began to read to himself. A young man stands in his bedroom. It just so happens that today, the 13th of April, 2009. I have done some Homestuck narration on behalf of Shadok, but My voice was in a little bit better standing when I did that. He's actually saving his vacation days to go to hell. Right. Hours or maybe even days had passed at that point. Pizzapants began breathing heavily. He was now on the 5th act, a part that Asriel described to him as when it gets good. Nearly 2,000 pages had washed over the secluded monster. He felt pain in his chest. Oh god, was he having a heart attack? Do monsters even have hearts? He then collapsed on the floor. This webcomic had an evil aura to it. Why did Asriel like it so much? He'd have to put it off longer. Eventually he'd complete it though, hopefully. The comic was awfully strange to him. It's just Pizzapants reads Homestuck, the fanfiction. God, if he's struggling this bad before Act 6, I don't think he has it in him. I don't think he's finishing. Like, Act 5 is where it gets good. It had this sort of quirky energy to it, the kind of thing the kids describe as postmodern. He wasn't much of what you'd call a gamer, although he did play games every now and then. One such game was a little-known indie title he'd gotten for his PlayStation 5 trademark somewhat recently. Maybe when he saw Asriel, he could recommend it to him. He saw what themes the comic tried to convey and realized that the game had communicated them much better. Surely they'd bond over this. Maybe he wouldn't even have to go through the effort of finishing the comic, assured with the relief that the game would be a more fulfilling thing to experience. They could even go through it together. So it's a toss-up. Is he talking about Undertale or Yeek? Which one is it? Or maybe it's Bug Snacks, I don't know. While Asriel was home for the upcoming November holiday feast of gratitude of unspecified origin. No, it's November holidays. That was Dessa's sister, the third sister that no one talks about. He'd have a few days off, one of which they could likely spend playing it together. Pizzapants thought all this before slipping into rest. Hopefully it's Bugsnat. November holiday, that's funny. Asriel had been at college for a semester then. Fall was ending, and the weather became cold. He was picking up a few essentials for his short trip home. Reading's getting harder. It's that time of stream. Suddenly, he got a phone call from an old friend. Neither of them had time to speak prior to this. Asriel was attending several hours to his studies, and his friend was constantly spending his hours working at that dead-end pizza job. He put the receiver to his ear. "Oh, hi, Pizzapants. How have you been?"
You don't have to use that nickname. We've known each other since we were kids."
"Sorry."
Nah, man, it's cool. So, when are you coming back? Wednesday night?
"Yeah, should be." Is it really possible for a Homestuck boy and a Yeek boy to be in a relationship? The pacing in this fic is a bit off, says Doc. It's not as bad as Yeek, so I'm doing fine.
I know you'll be at your folks' place for a while, but you wouldn't mind hanging out, right?
Sure. Sure. I struggled to say sure with the English accent. Sure, I should have the whole weekend too.
That's great, man. So, there's this game I've been meaning to play with you. The comic. You made me, reminded me of it.
Did you finish it?
Well, not exactly, but I'll probably get around to it.
It's okay, don't stress yourself about it.
Yeah, the game's kind of long. You wouldn't mind spending the night, would you?
Not at all. What's the reveal? Asriel arrived at Pizzapants' apartment the following Friday afternoon. He brought a sleeping bag and everything. Pizzapants was wearing an unbuttoned flannel shirt over some kind of gaming t-shirt. He's just dressed as Alex Yeek. Good. I gave serious thought, I met some friends about a week ago, and I was considering what to wear, and it flashed before my eyes. I could unironically just dress as Alex. I don't have a red plaid shirt, but I have that green one. And I was like, yeah, rolled up sleeves don't look bad, yeah? And I have a dark t-shirt. And I was questioning myself. I'm like, am I actually going to dress as Alex Yeek? Like, it doesn't look that bad, but and I just couldn't. I had to take it off. I wore something else. It's not like anyone else would have gotten the reference. Like, no one would have seen it and been like, hey, you're cosplaying as Alex Yeek. No one would have known, but I just couldn't do it. Gotta play some Yeek to get into the mood, you know? Yeah. When the door opened, he greeted Pizzapants with a massive hug that went on for an awkwardly long amount of time. Pizzapants' face was less flushed by the matter. Asriel entered and sat down on his couch as a silent moment passed. So, how about this game? Asriel questioned.
Right, yeah, the game, yeah.
Pizzapants said while struggling to open the plastic game case. Asriel looked over at the 19-year-old monster as he finagled it open. On it read, Yeek, a postmodern RPG. Everything has been copyright-free so far except for Homestuck and Yeek. Those just exist in canon. How do you say that? He asked.
What?
The title.
I think it's pronounced Yeek.
Okay. The disc went in and Pizzapants booted up the game. A little over 2 hours of gameplay passed thereafter. The plot so far followed Alex Eagleston, returning home from college and meeting Sammy Park, or was it Semi Pak? Asriel thought the plot was fairly odd, and it struggled to properly formulate itself, although it did somewhat remind him of how he felt returning to hometown after spending months at college. It's so weird how this has been tackled by two different fics, right? This one is like, Asriel is playing Yeek, and the other one was just like, Asriel knows Alex in real life. Because they both have the same coming back from college energy. Personally, I like to pronounce it as Yik. I pronounce it in the Finnish style. Yeek. Or something. How the fuck would you pronounce? Because Y is like the U sound. So it's like eek. Eek. Yeah, that's fucked up. Anyone who speaks Finnish in chat, just say yeek to yourself over and over again. As if it was written in Finnish. Yeek. Yeah. Even though it had been a very long time. The writing seemed fairly pretentious, wordy, and reliant on references to things better than it. Asriel felt inclined to say something. Is this a prank? He cautiously asked.
Is what a prank?
Pizzapants responded, confused. This game, it feels kind of like a joke. It's not very good.
Dude, what do you mean?
Pizzapants raised his voice.
This game is great. Why can't you understand that?
Pizzapants looked over to him. He felt as though it had upset his friend dearly. Asriel's face wore a saddened expression. We were wondering who the unironic Yeek heads are, and apparently it's just Pizzapants. He doesn't get it. It's just a quirky Earthbound inspired. What did Asriel major in? That's a question. A previous fic canonized it as soul studies. He studied soul metaphysics. Yeah, Outsin made the pre-modern RPG in fan art. It was very funny. It took me an embarrassing long time to get the joke. It was Y1K, a pre-modern RPG. Asriel's face wore a saddened expression. I'm sorry, Asriel said back to him. Pizzapants really felt like a jerk now.
Hey, it's okay. Screw the game. It doesn't matter.
He said reassuringly. But...
It's fine. We're supposed to be here for each other, not for this.
Pizzapants said as he brushed his hand against Asriel's muzzle.
I'm here for you, you know.
I feel like I always do this. You tried to do something like this for me, and I just don't appreciate it, Asriel said with a tone of remorse.
I think I should be the one saying sorry to you. You've done so much for me. You've supported me through thick and thin.
Pizzapants apologized. How does this evolve to a kiss, asks chat. Wait and see. I don't know.
I'm not worthy of, and I just wanted to be here, to be honest, because,
he continued. Because?
because I'm in love with you, man.
He stated pensively. Asriel's face was left with an expressive state of emotion, which will not be described, but it was very expressive. He was shocked to learn the person he knew as his best friend for years had shared the same romantic feelings he himself felt. Asriel held Pizzapants near him as the two shared a passionate kiss. Then nothing happened for 20 plus hours of gameplay. That's fucking banger line to end on. That is banger. I thought maybe the Yeek reference was gratuitous. It was just for fun, but it was all leading up to this. It was the perfect lead up to that punchline. Holy shit. That's incredible. That's a good one, Doc. That was a nice one. I kind of wish the whole fic was just Pizzapants reacting to Homestuck. If I'm not careful, I say shit like that, and then next thing I know, like 3 weeks from now, there's gonna be 10 dudes in the Discord being like, "Oh hey, Andrew, I wrote my Pizzapants reading Homestuck fanfic. It's 900,000 words. Are you gonna read it on stream?" I gotta be careful.